Anybody else buy expensive stuff and then modify it yourself to make it work for your best abilities? Welcome, everyone, to an episode of Zach's Been Left Alone in His Garage with His Thoughts. It's a very dangerous place to be. Today, we are trying to figure out how to install a rear winch. I've been wanting to put a rear winch on Nemesis for some time now, and I finally decided I'm just going to do it. But in order to start that, I needed a second winch. So, we are going to take this one off, and this one's going to be used on the rear. I picked up a brand new one that we're going to install in the front, and then this one will go back to the rear. That way I can actually figure out how I want to mount it up in there, whether it's going to be the right way up, upside down, how I'm going to mount it in there, what I need to do, do I need bolt, weld, anything like that. So that's why we're filming. We're going to figure out this together, hopefully. We'll see. So let's get started and see what we can into. Alright, so first thing we want to do, obviously, is take the winch cable out of this. I am going to keep this winch cable up front. This is the bleeping winch line. Once I pull it out, I'll actually show you guys the cool features of it. I know we talked about it in one of our last videos, but I'll be able to show you now everything that's part of it. Probably should have taken this out a couple weeks ago after it went through the mud. It's a little dirty. That's right. We'll clean it up. Alright, so the bleeping winch line, again, it's from Bleepin' Jeep. Matt from Bleepin' Jeep patented this idea and whatnot. It's really, really cool. So, within the winch line, there's little notches. I think there's 3 of them all the way through this. And with that, so you don't need any kind of shackles or anything like that. You just take that, wrap this around whatever you need, and you're good to go. You don't need any kind of adapters or anything like that that actually go along with winch lines and whatnot. Now, you can use the soft shackles for hooking up different things that you need to, and then just hook it in onto the ball. But for just something quick, just to wrap around a tree to get you out real quick and not having to worry about anything, you can use that. It's got a small little tree saver on it. If I know maybe doing a big tug or pull or something like that, we'll put a tree saver around it and then wrap that through that. That way we're not cutting this up as much. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This isn't sponsored or promoted. It's a really cool thing, and I love Matt from Bleepin' Jeep. So if you get a chance, look up Bleepin' Winch Line. It's his patented thing. Check it out. It's really cool. I was gonna apologize for the dirty engine bay, but you know what? This thing gets used for what it's supposed to do. So we're not gonna apologize for that. And I got it wrong. Go ahead and disconnect this little guy. I did it again. Why aren't you guys telling me this? I'm getting the wrong size. There we go. So I didn't think about this as I was putting this in, but this is my aux beam relay box, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It kind of gets in the way. Loosen up, little guy. I don't want to have to take the whole thing out. I'm just dropping everything. There we go. I guess the good thing with when filming and stuff like that for you guys, when I'm alone, I really do talk to myself quite a lot. So I guess now I don't look as crazy. Maybe. I think I still am a little bit. Don't tell anybody. And yes, I know it'd probably be smarter if I just took all this off and got it out of the way properly and didn't have to pull and tug and but nope. I put that there. Don't forget I put it there. Oh, and get this out of this rat's nest. All right, I'll go ahead and take the bottom bolts out of here. I was in here pulling the cables down through. I noticed that my steering stabilizer has went backwards and is hitting on my track bar. I guess we'll have to fix that while we're down here. So kind of a slight problem with this gatekeeper bumper. When you go to install it, you put this plate on, and then put your winch on, and then put the exterior on. I never noticed that you can't get the front bolts out while that's on. I think I'm going to save myself time. I'm just going to cut that. Just notch them out a little bit. Boom. Remember, kids, safety third. Anybody else buy expensive stuff and then modify it yourself to make it work for your best abilities? Ooh. Got those notched out. Let's see if we can get this sucker in there. While I was in here, I went ahead and recoated the bottom end of this plate that it sits in with some rhino liner or bed liner or whatever, Hercule liner, whatever the hell we're using right now. Hopefully this fits in there without me having to take it out. It does. Nice. Alright, so if you don't have a buddy or an extra set of hands when you're doing this, you can always just get... I took the end of the winch line and stuck it down through there and then just lightly zip tied the cables to it and then yanked it up there. If Matt was with me, one of us would just stuck our hands down and then yanked them up that way. But since it was just me, I went ahead and just did it that way. So now it's just fishing this stuff around and getting it hooked up. You guys remember where I put that? If you did, thank you. All right, got that back together. Now we're gonna see if we can get the winch line back in there. There we go. We'll be able to get it that way. It works. New winch up front installed. Everything's wired up, spooled back in. Next time we're out, we'll pull that out and actually hook onto something, and then we'll winch it in, tighten it all up. Right now, if we left it like that and pulled it halfway out, the rest of it would suck down in and be a real pain in the ass to pull out later. So we'll fix that next time we're out. All right, guys, new winch is on. Starting to get a game plan for the stuff in the rear. We're working on it. So we're going to start on that tomorrow, whatever day it is. I don't even know what day it is, but we'll see you in just a minute. Told you guys we'd be right back. So we're in the big garage today, and I'm trying to work out what I started. When we left off, we were on the front. Now we're trying to figure out the rear. So underneath, I got to cut some things out of the way first, and then, yeah, that's where my head's at. I'm taking one thing at a time. I'm trying to figure this out. Big goal today is to at least get the winch up in there mounted, and then from there we'll work on wiring. I got everything for it to hook up a second battery, hook up battery to it. I got a kill switch for it and everything. I'd like to get that done today, but if we don't get that done today, we'll do it another day. But the main goal today is just to get the winch hooked up. So let's get after it. All right, so this is where the spare tire usually sits. I took all that out last year when we cut the back end out, chopped the bed a little bit. So I probably have to take that out. I added in these bars after I took the hitch out, I think just for extra support. I don't know if it actually did anything. It's held on just fine. So we'll take these out. We'll probably cut that out. And I'm thinking we're going to put it in between here and here. I think. So this is just a hair too long, so we're going to take a little bit off the edge here. See how that works out. So got this trimmed down to fit in between the frame rails, and now I'm working on getting this piece will sit on top, and it'll be what sits on top of the frame. We'll probably put a couple tack welds on this and put a bolt or two through this thing, And yeah, we'll go from there. Still making this up as I go along, so bear with me. We're gonna scoop those on top. Scoop that back. Alright, I'll do that, and then we'll bring this big guy down. And for now, we're just gonna put, well, these are gonna stay in there. Some grade 8 bolts that we're gonna shove in it. Alright, here. Put this on this bolt on here. Come on here. Quickly. Alright, that's good enough. Thank you. Alright, so I got this fitted up down here. So I got a bolt here and a bolt there holding the top plate on. It comes out on that side. I'm going to trim that one up a little bit. And that one's about just right. So the game plan is we'll get another plate that comes down here. We'll weld it to that. We'll cut a hole in this side, and then we'll do another plate on this side that'll come down in the same area. And we'll shove a bolt through it to hold it in place. And we'll weld those plates up. We might do a few triangle pieces for extra stability, and then we'll do the same over here, I think. Maybe. Still work in progress. I got these tabs made up that are going to go on the outside and the inside of the frame rail. I'll kind of tack them into the bar that I already have in there, and then I got measure out the holes to slide the bolt through for extra support. And yeah, it's coming along. So what do we got here? We got this one. Let me show you guys. So this will come up here like that. Weld it there, slide the bolt through it, and then we'll clean all this up, and then we'll do a little extra welding on the side, and that hopefully should hold. So the original plan was to, I'm not going to be able to get this in and out with the bar on across it, so I'm not going to be able to weld the top of it, so I'm going to get a couple more bolts to put in the top, and then do some welding in the little holes that are exposed for a little bit extra support, and hopefully that'll hold. We shall see. It'll work. We'll make it work. And if it doesn't, first time I use it, pulls it out, we'll try again. No worries. Right? Alright, so check this out, everybody. The winch is up in its hole. I didn't want to put it up there just yet, but when I finish putting it in place on the frame rails, it is going to be a pain of where it's finally going to sit to get my arm up in there to get to the bottom bolts of this winch. So we went ahead and put them in, used the jack sitting on a bucket, and then jacked it up, put it in place, then tightened them up. Went ahead and connected up the ground of the control box, because the ground sits on the very bottom of the winch, well, I guess the very top of the winch now, and I just wanted to get that hooked up and out of the way. So that's hooked up, and then this is just zip tied here, because I'm still trying to figure out where I want to put the control box, because I don't want to put it back in this spot, because that's just going to be more clearance issues. So I want to put it up, ideally up in the bed would be awesome. That way the only time I have to do anything is come underneath to engage or disengage the clutch on this. So yeah, that's where we're at. We're just gonna let this hang here. Got it zip tied up the way it's not hanging out, tearing anything up. But the ground's hooked up. We'll work on the other wiring stuff later on. Now we're gonna finish up getting the sides bolted up, welded up, and then we'll see from there. Slide that through to its hole. This plate on. And reiterating to all of you, I'm not a professional welder. So, update for everybody. I ended up putting jack stands under it to lift it up a little bit because I keep smacking my head off the bottom of this thing. But, moving right along, getting everything welded up. I didn't figure you don't want to see me weld the entire thing, so I'm just gonna little bits and pieces for you. But, so we're about halfway done, getting it all together where I wanted it. And then, I don't know what we're gonna do from there. Let's find out. I'm gonna keep my distance from it so you guys don't make fun of the welds. But I got that done up, and once it cooled down, put a little bit more undercoating on it. I got those done up. Got that side done up, same thing over there. Yeah, turned out pretty darn well, I think. Hopefully it holds. We'll find out. And now I'm gonna figure out the wiring, how I want to do all that. Figure out where to put that, how to put that, at least get it put in place and get the winch connected up to it today, and then just tuck up the wire somewhere, because I got, like I said before, I got secondary battery for it, and I got wires to go from it to the one up front, and then I got a kill switch for this one, flip it on and off. I think that'll work. We'll see. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm exhausted though. Alright, so I got the rear wires attached back to it, and the control box is just mounted up, or zip tied up behind it for now until I figure out all the wiring and which direction I want to go with it and whatnot. But I got it hooked up to the battery right now just to make sure everything works. And it does. Nice. Because I'm impatient, went ahead and got the battery hooked up to it. I'm going to go ahead and put the cable in. Just because. Nice. I got fair lead on. Got everything hooked up underneath. Or winch-wise hooked up underneath. I'm just going to go ahead and call it quits for the evening. And I'm going to just zip tie up the loose cables up out of the way. And we'll pick this back up tomorrow. Welcome to tomorrow. So I've already been in the garage today working on a little bit more of the strength and durability of the winch plate that I made up. I added some more tubing to it, welded it up to the frame and whatnot, added a little bit more strength to it. So hopefully that holds out. Keep your fingers crossed for me the first time we go for a tug on it and it doesn't completely fall right out. We'll see. Got the battery box that I wanted for the battery, the second battery. Got a nice little lid, fits in there perfect. Gonna get a little bit of foam or insulation to stick in there, just to, there's a wee bit of a gap That way it doesn't really roll around. The idea next is we're going to put it in the bed. I kind of like this spot here in between this box and the wheel well. The box fits perfectly there, so obviously we'll clean all that up and then probably put a couple bolts through the floor to hold it in place, and then do something as simple as a little ratchet strap to keep the lid down tight. And then we'll either come up through the bed with the wires from the winch, or we'll bring them up in between the cab and the bed. Maybe. We'll figure that out once we get to that point. And then I also have a little kill switch that I'm either going to put back here or down in here somewhere. That way it's not drawing any power from the front battery back here. And then we'll run the wire from that battery all the way up to this battery, hook it up. I did pick up some butt connectors. They are the wrong size though, so I'll have to get the proper size of that. It's either 0 gauge or whatever gauge battery wire is. Big stuff. So we'll get that figured out. But like I said, I want Matt here with me when we go to finish this up, because this has been a lot of work to get this, at least the winch part, done up. So I want him to be a part of hooking up the electrical side of it with me. That way he's a part of it too. He does send his love. Hopes you're all doing well. We are hoping that this Saturday working schedule of his ends soon. So keep your fingers crossed. Send him some good vibes because he needs them. He cannot wait to get back and do these videos with me. I can't wait for him to come back and do these videos with me. Love Matt to death. He's my best friend, so obviously I want him here with me. So that's probably why we'll wait and get that hooked up. Like I said, this video was mainly just figuring out how to get a rear winch mounted in the bed, and we were successful at that. Thank goodness. So hopefully you all enjoyed this video. If you remember, like the video and comment on the video. Subscribe to our channel. Why haven't you? It's a lot of fun. We do fun things. Yes, we're not the most exciting off-roading YouTube channel out there, but we do cool things. Matt and I are getting more crazy with the off-roading we like to do. Hopefully this year we'll do a lot more crazy stuff. We're doing stuff like adding a rear winch to my Jeep. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I think so. So subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, make sure that you are notified every time we put out content. We're trying to put something out at least once a week for you guys, because this is a lot of fun. Talking to myself, but actually talking to you, crazy. Never thought I'd be doing that. So it's a lot of fun. You should subscribe. Please subscribe. We're up to, like, at the time of film, we're almost at 240. My goal is by August, because we started this channel back in August. By August, we'd love to have 500 subscribers, and by the end of the year, it'd be so cool to have 1,000. So if you made it this far in the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, let us know how we're doing. So from me, from Matt, pick up all your trash, keep your tires on the trail, and we'll see you next time.